Good things are happening for the Nuggets, man, and that's the reason why Valanciunas has to be here. He has to be. You have to find a way to supplement Nikola Jokic with cheap players behind him, whether that's him or Al Horford. It's good news. I thought OKC was going to be dynastic, but yes, you were right. You got to pay these guys.
Outside of the fight that we've picked with the Greeks, the Jonas Valančiūnas situation, would it be wise on the part of the Denver Nuggets to say, okay, so you really want to play for Panathinaikos?
Olympic tacos.
We'll go 3/4. We'll give you 3/4 of the salary we'll get relief from. You pay 1/4 of it, Panathinaikos. So it'd be roughly $3 or $4 million.
Nope.
I'm saying you do that now. Because guess who's on the market? And we talked about it yesterday. Evan Sidery of Forbes, covers the NBA, says it is likely going to come down to the Denver Nuggets and the Golden State Warriors for Al Horford.
You don't have to do it right now. I don't think you have to rush it.
But what if Al Horford signs with the Warriors?
If Horford wanted to be a Warrior, he'd already be a Warrior.
Because they just flat out don't have the cap space.
And also, there's no other centers. For teams that are looking to win now, and Golden State is trying to find that magic, that lightning in a bottle in the final years of Draymond and Steph, like, can we do it one more time? And that's the reason why you look at Horford. Nobody else is out there as a center.
So Alex Ryanemi is 10 Benzer. You are in the shoes of the financier of the brain trust.
Not allowed to use the other name that you thought up of?
John Benet Walzer.
I love it.
Yeah.
People got upset about that, but it's like
one or
been
two
30
people.
years.
Sorry, guys. There's plenty of people named John Benet in the world, I think.
I've literally never heard of another one, but okay.
Not many males either, but it could. Raj, if you're in that situation, you're saying that you would only take 100% salary relief in order to let Jonas Valančiūnas walk.
I am in screw you territory.
100%.
90. You pay $9 million, we'll give you a $1 million kicker on the way out.
You wouldn't take right now.
No.
75% relief.
Nope.
And you have Al Horford on your team, and you have secured your bench unit to go compete for a title next year.
No, because I don't think that Horford's going to be signing in the next 3 hours. If this takes a few days, right? The trade has to be finalized.
You just said that Al Horford, if he wanted to be a Warrior, he would be a Warrior.
Yeah.
Why do you think he's not right now?
Because he might want to be a Nugget.
Because
he's holding out, and the Nuggets can pay him more.
Yes. You could get it done now.
We had this conversation yesterday. Who's the better player right now? Valanciunas is the better player.
I don't know, man.
Horford's a future Hall of Famer. We went through that exercise yesterday, which was mind-blowing. Al Horford is a future Hall of Famer. But right now, Valanciunas is the better player.
Completely different players.
They are completely different. But Valanciunas does more. Valanciunas can shoot from outside just like Horford can. But he can give you more minutes. He can give you more physical minutes on the inside. He's longer.
God, that's been a bit of a lazy take by all of us here, that he's an outside shooter.
I never said he was an outside shooter.
But I keep hearing that. Everybody say he's a good shooter. People have watched a playoff series where he made like 2 or 3 3-pointers in a game, and they all of a sudden think he's a dynamic 3-point shooter. If you go through the final games of Jonas Valančiūnas this past season, all right, which started, his final game was the play-in game, the 9th place versus 10th place, 0 3-point attempts, okay? 0. He hasn't made a 3-pointer.
I'm not saying he's an outside shooter. I'm saying he can shoot from 3 for a guy who's 7 foot tall and plays primarily in the paint. He's not Ray Allen. I've never said that before.
In the entire season, brother. The entire season. Guy made fewer than 10 3-pointers.
That's okay. I'm not concerned about his ability to shoot the 3 at a large clip. He's a 5. That's the issue for the Nuggets, man. They haven't had a 5, so they've had to stretch the floor, and they haven't had guys who can hit that 3 consistently. When you bring in a 6'11" dude who's 250 pounds, you don't have to rely on the 3. You don't have to rely on perimeter shooting. The fact that he can do it at a career clip of 34% as a 7-footer excites me. But do I want him sitting on the outside? No. That's the reason why I would prefer Valanciunas over Horford. He forces you to play inside, but he gives you the ability to stretch on the outside. Horford is now a much more proficient outside shooter than he is an interior defender or interior presence. We went over that yesterday, right? He's going to be a guy who can shoot 4 threes a game for you. I don't know if I want that out of my backup 5. He's not Ray Allen. I don't need him to be.
Yeah, he's had a really interesting career.
Valanciunas does not shoot 22% from 3. He shoots 34% over the course of his career.
Shot 22% this past season. 8 of 37.
Okay, or you can say that in the 24-25 season. What did he do in 23-24? He's 31%, 22-23, he was 35%, he was 36% the year before. I'm going off his career averages.
He had, in 2021 and 2022, that season, he did make 57 three-pointers. So, to your point, that's not long ago. He was 57 of 158 for nearly, in back-to-back years, he was nearly a 37% three-point shooter, which is good, to the point that it's not like he's never shot three-pointers in his career. For whatever reason, he just hadn't done it recently. I don't know if he's had a wrist thing or just hasn't been a huge three-point shooter, at least in the last 2 seasons.
I'm okay with that. I don't need my backup to Nikola Jokic to be a high-volume three-point shooter. I need him to have the ability to step out and hit one every now and again. The focus on Valanciunas should not be, can you hit from outside or not? And that's not what I've been saying. I've been going, he can do it. He doesn't do it as well as Al Horford, but he's way better on the inside than Horford is at 40 years old right now. The answer is Valanciunas. You want him here. You want him here. And no, am I paying $7.5 million to allow a Greek team to take him? No, I'm not. The answer is screw you, pay the 10, or come here and play. I don't want to kick him out the door like Moj does. Moj called him like a rabid dog or something like that. I want him here. And I think he kind of wants to be here too. Like, he hasn't really come out and say he doesn't want to be there. There's speculation, his agent throwing things out there. What he said yesterday was, until the trade goes down and we can actually talk about this thing in the same room, it's still up in the air.
Great question here. And I don't know the answer. And that's why I like the Champ Mazda text line. Will somebody please tell me why the Nuggets couldn't sign both? Even if they keep Jonas Valančiūnas and still have 5.7 MLE, if he's serious about winning another championship, could they not bring in Al Horford as well?
If Horford is willing to take that money, the answer is yes. But what did he make last year with Boston? $10 million? Is he willing to cut his salary in half? I don't know if he is. The reason why Horford is still keeping the option open of the Nuggets over the Golden State Warriors is because the Nuggets have the ability to pay him more if Valanciunas isn't on the roster. That's the reason why this is still a possibility. And we also talked about this. Like, is the motivation to win another championship? I can't say that's necessarily true for either one of those two dudes.
He's like a $9.75 million average annual value in his last 2 years.
Is he willing to cut his pay essentially in half if Valanciunas is still on the roster? I would think the answer is no. He's holding out because Denver can pay him a lot of money.
Well, and the Celtics are done, basically. They're done.
They're toast.
Yeah. Okay, how about this? Here's the answer to the question. NBA insider Mark Stein reported Sunday that Al Horford is destined to join the Warriors this offseason, and the Warriors can offer just the $5.7 million taxpayer mid-level to offer him. So he's just sitting there waiting. Is it the Nuggets MLE, or is it the Warriors MLE, or the Nuggets going to have some extra cheese to play with? And we're waiting for Jonas.
If he wanted to be a Nugget, he would already be a Nugget. If he wanted to be a Warrior, he would already be a Warrior. This is a money play from Al Horford. It's also a money play from Jonas Valančiūnas. Guarantee the second year of my contract so I know where I'm going to be. I know where my family's going to be. Or let me go to Olympic Tacos, Palatinacos, and settle in Greece for the rest of my career.
It's
all money, baby.
This is the most on-brand Greek, Lithuanian, Dominican game of musical chairs. Musical chairs that we're dealing with here.
Greek,
Lithuanian, Dominican,
American.
American. And let's just for why not? Let's just throw Serbian in there. Because Nikola Jokic is kind of a big part of this.
What type of music do you play for that game of musical chairs?
Polka.